You're making yourself a snack. Your cat hears the rustle of a bag, the clink of a plate, and then it happens. That tiny, polite meow. You look down and there they are, big, pleading eyes, tail wrapped neatly around their paws, like they're saying, "Just one bite." If you loved me, you'd share, right? Sharing feels kind. It feels like love. And most cat parents think, if this food is safe for me and I only give a tiny piece, how bad can it really be? Here's the uncomfortable truth. Your cat is not a tiny human. They're a completely different machine. Cats are obligate carnivores. Their bodies are wired for meat, not seasonings, not sugar, and definitely not our ultra-processed snacks. They're also small. What barely affects a 150-pound human can absolutely wreck a 10-pound cat. That harmless lick, that tiny bite, can be the difference between a normal evening and an emergency vet visit at 2 a.m. So today, we're going to do something brave together. We're going to walk through your kitchen and expose the foods you are most likely giving your cat that are secretly harmful. Some of them are in your fridge right now. Some are hiding in healthy products, even in baby food. Number 3 is in almost every home. Number 1 is a lie cartoons have been feeding you for decades. Before we start the countdown, let's set 3 golden rules for human food and cats. Rule number 1. If you're not sure, don't share. Rule number 2. No seasonings. If it has onion, garlic, spices, sugar, or sweeteners, it is not for your cat. Rule number 3. Human food should be the exception, never the diet. Their real nutrition comes from complete, balanced cat food. Alright, lab coat on. Let's start at number 10 with one of the biggest myths of all. Number 10 is the dairy myth. The classic image is a cute cat happily lapping at a saucer of milk. It's in children's books, old movies and cartoons. It's everywhere. But reality? Once kittens are weaned, usually around 8 weeks, they lose most of the enzyme that digests lactose. For most adult cats, cow's milk is basically a liquid stomachache. So what does that look like in real life? A few hours after that treat, you might see soft stool or full-on diarrhea, a smelly litter box, and a cat who's suddenly gassy, restless, maybe even hiding. For kittens and seniors, repeated diarrhea from milk can even cause dehydration. So ask yourself, is that cute little moment worth your cat spending the night in pain? If you really want a milky treat, use lactose-free cat milk made just for them, or better yet, fresh, cool water every single day. Number 9 is the tuna trap. You might ask, wait, cats love fish. How can tuna be bad? You're not wrong. Most cats go wild for the smell of tuna. That's exactly the problem. A tiny forkful, once in a while, is usually okay. But when tuna becomes the main event day after day, your cat can quietly slide into trouble. First, tuna alone is not balanced. It's missing key nutrients cats need. Over time, that can lead to deficiencies. Second, too much oily tuna can cause something called steatitis, also called yellow fat disease. The fat in the body becomes inflamed and painful. You might see your cat suddenly hating to be touched, flinching when you pet them, or acting stiff and grumpy. And then there's mercury. Your body can handle more. Theirs can't. That safe level for you can build up in a tiny cat. Ever met a tuna addict cat who refuses normal food? That's a real thing we see in clinics. So do this instead. If they adore tuna, use balanced cat food that's tuna flavored. They get the smell they crave with the nutrition they actually need. Number 8 is raw dough and yeast. This one is for the home bakers. Picture this. You're making bread. You knead the dough, put it in a bowl, cover it, and leave it in a warm place so it can rise. Now, imagine that same dough rising inside your cat's stomach. If a cat eats raw yeast dough, The warmth and moisture in their belly turn it into a balloon. The stomach can stretch painfully. Gas builds. In severe cases, it can even put dangerous pressure on other organs. And we're not done. As the yeast ferments, it produces alcohol. Yes, real alcohol, so your cat can end up bloated, drunk, and poisoned all at once. What would you see at home? A swollen, tight belly, a cat who seems disoriented, wobbly, maybe even acting tipsy or strangely affectionate, then suddenly depressed. If you ever suspect they've eaten dough, that is not a wait-and-see moment. Call your vet or emergency clinic immediately. Best prevention. While dough is rising, hide it like treasure, inside the oven, turned off, inside the microwave, or behind a closed door. Number 7 is dog food. You might think, if it's good enough for my dog, it's good enough for my cat, right? Not even close. Cats are obligate carnivores with higher protein needs and a special requirement for an amino acid called taurine. Dogs can make taurine in their bodies. Cats cannot. If they don't get enough from food, their heart and eyes quietly start to suffer. Dog food simply isn't built for that. If your cat steals a nibble from the dog's bowl once in a while, that's usually not an emergency. But if dog food becomes their main diet over months or years, you could see sluggishness, weight loss, trouble breathing, and in advanced cases, heart failure or even blindness. So set a boundary. Feed dogs and cats in separate spaces and pick up leftover dog food when mealtime is over. Those are the slow damage foods. The next ones can be far more dramatic and much faster. Number 6 is liver. This one sounds so natural, right? In the wild, cats absolutely eat liver, and in small amounts, it's actually packed with nutrients. The danger comes from overdoing it. Every single day, big servings, just because it's healthy. Too much liver means too much vitamin A. Unlike some vitamins, vitamin A can build up in the body to toxic levels. What does that look like? A stiff neck, a cat who doesn't want to jump anymore, who cries out when you pick them up, or seems painful when they turn their head. Over time, bony spikes can even form along the spine. That's not just uncomfortable, it's chronically painful. So keep liver in its place, an occasional treat, not a main meal, and not every day. Onions and garlic. Now we step into the true danger zone. If you remember only one item from this video, make it this one. Onions, garlic, chives, shallots, scallions, all part of the allium family. For cats, they are toxic in any form, raw, cooked, powdered, fried, or dehydrated. Here's why this one is so sneaky. You almost never feed your cat a full onion, right? But these ingredients hide in soups, stews, sauces, flavored meats, gravy, and yes, even baby food. Inside your cat's body, compounds from onions and garlic attack red blood cells. They damage the cell's surface so the body destroys them. The result? Hemolytic anemia. And the worst part is that you might not notice for a day or two. At first, your cat just seems off, more tired, less playful. Then pale gums, faster breathing, maybe a racing heart, and in severe cases, collapse or dark, cola-colored urine. That is an emergency. And about that baby food trap, many well-meaning owners use meat baby food to tempt a sick cat to eat. But some brands add onion powder for flavor. So here's your rule. If it's not specifically made for cats and you see onion, garlic, or onion powder on the label, it is a hard no. No onion, no garlic, ever. Number 4, grapes and raisins. This one is still a medical mystery. We don't fully understand the exact toxic mechanism yet, but we know the effect. Grapes and raisins can cause sudden and sometimes fatal kidney failure in cats and dogs. And there is no known safe amount. For some pets, a single raisin has been enough to trigger severe poisoning. At home, early signs often look like vomiting within a few hours, maybe diarrhea, then later a cat who stops eating, drinks a lot or barely at all, and becomes very, very quiet. Kidney damage is not something you can wait out. So if a grape rolls under the table and you're not sure who ate it, play it safe. And keep that raisin bread, trail mix and granola bars well out of paw's reach. Number 3 is caffeine. You may feel like you can't function without your morning coffee. Your cat absolutely can. Cats are far more sensitive to caffeine than we are. Coffee grounds, used pods, tea bags, energy drinks, cola, and even some pain pills and diet products contain caffeine or related stimulants. What would you see if your cat got into them? Restlessness, pacing, big wide pupils, fast breathing, a racing heart. Then tremors, collapse, and in severe cases, seizures or death. Used coffee grounds and tea bags are especially sneaky. They smell strong and interesting to a curious cat. So don't leave them in an open trash can. Bag them, bin them, and keep them away from the king or queen of the kitchen. Number 2 is chocolate. We've all heard chocolate is bad for dogs, but somehow people forget about cats. Chocolate contains theobromine and caffeine. Cats can't break these down well, so they build up to toxic levels. The darker the chocolate, the more dangerous it is. Baking chocolate and dark chocolate are the worst offenders. A single square of baking chocolate can be enough to cause serious symptoms in a cat. You might see vomiting, diarrhea, restlessness, panting, an abnormal heartbeat, then tremors, seizures, and without treatment, death. So let's make a deal. Your chocolate stash is for you and only you. Share a cozy blanket, a movie night, a cuddle on the couch, but not a bite of brownie or a lick of icing. Number 1 is the silent assassin. This is the one almost nobody talks about, but it's hiding in more products every year. Xylitol. Xylitol is a sugar substitute used in sugar-free gum, candies, toothpaste, mouthwash, baked goods, and yes, some brands of peanut butter. In pets, even tiny amounts can trigger a massive release of insulin. That insulin surge drops their blood sugar to dangerously low levels, fast. We call it severe hypoglycemia. At home, it might start with wobbliness, sudden weakness, vomiting, then confusion, collapse, and seizures. In some cases, xylitol also causes liver failure within a day. And here's the terrifying part. All it takes is a small amount of peanut butter containing xylitol used to hide a pill, or just a lick from the spoon. So from now on, anytime you buy peanut butter, gum, or anything labeled sugar-free, pause. Flip the jar. Read the label. If you see xylitol or birch sugar, it does not come into your cat's home. One lick can be one lick too many. So, now that you've heard the list, be honest with yourself. How many of these did you already know? Were you surprised by the milk myth, the tuna trap, the baby food onions, or the peanut butter assassin? Most cat parents aren't careless, they're just uninformed, and that's how loving treats turn into deadly mistakes. So let's end with this. If you ever think your cat has eaten something dangerous, follow these steps. Step 1. Stay calm but act fast. Step 2. Take the package or a clear photo of it so you know exactly what they ate. Step 3. Call your vet or the nearest emergency clinic right away and tell them your cat's weight, what they ate, and when. Do not wait for symptoms just to see. With poisons, the earlier you act, the more lives you save. If this opened your eyes, don't let it stop with you. Share this video with another cat parent today. You might quietly save a life without ever knowing it. And if you want more fact-based, emotionally honest feline wellness guides, hit subscribe and follow for more household danger we're going to expose right here with Dr. Kitty Cat.